Even though we shared a lot of very intimate special.
My name is John Njamah, and I'm a theme maker. Not only am I a theme maker, but I come from a family of theme makers. My brother Aquila Njamah is a theme maker. My sister, Empress Njamah, is equally a theme maker. So you see, not only are we theme makers, but we eat and live entertainment. Growing up, I listened to Chief Tony Okoroji's songs like Juliana, Mama and Papa, and Oriaku. Oh yes, I know I've taken some of you way back, but that's the whole idea. For me, I was particularly intrigued with what he had done with African music. When he later became Piman president, I couldn't help but follow the non-stop activity that particularly engulfed the nation. The drive for Nigerian copyright law, the big showbiz event, Nigerian Music Award, and the change in perception of the Nigerian artist. Now, all these helped inspire my generation of creative people in Nigeria. I also followed the many controversies surrounding this man, and several times I was left confused. When I heard about the coming of the book, Copyright, Neighboring Rights, and the New Millionaires, I said yes, this is the time to find out. I got the chance to read the manuscript, and in it I learned many things I didn't know. And of course, this did not stop me from asking, what is it about this man that evokes so much passion? So I felt I owe him that duty to talk to him and other people who know him. So I went on a journey. Come. Shegu Arinze was a wannabe singer when he met Chief Tony Okoroji. One thing led to another, and he found himself on stage at the National Theatre with Ese Agassi, doing the theme song for the Nigerian Music Awards.
I'm a backstage person. I like working a lot on backstage, like producing and all that. And it's also given me the opportunity over the years to work with Nigerian Music Award. I personally also maintain a very cordial relationship as an uncle to a younger practitioner. The book couldn't have come at a better time. It's a good time to bring the book because if you look at it, a lot of us as actors, actresses, singers, producers, directors, and whatever you in the entertainment industry, we're very naive. I, for one, believe that the book has come at a very, very crucial time. There's a need for every young actor, actress, singer, producer, writer, even fashion designers. You can design, even architects, to be aware of the copyright. It's not just launching the book alone. It's creating an awareness for it and making sure it gets into the right quarters. Students who understand it, students who are reading dramatic arts, students of history, students of government, students of law, you give them this book, it becomes a reference point for them. But it's a great honor. I feel elated, and I also hope that the book will impart on a lot of people and they'll learn from it.
Dr. Bankole Shodipo, as a young lawyer, met with Chief Tony Okoroji, and they formed a partnership and friendship that has endured for several years. They have been in the trenches together. Dr. Shodipo is the president of Intellectual Property Law Association of Nigeria.
Well, I've known him for as long as I remember my professional working career as a lawyer. And I recall that in those days, he was president of PMAN. I met him at the PMAN office, and it was not a very good first meeting because he knew too much. Oh yes, there's a lot of ignorance, particularly on copyright issues. There's a great deal of talent in Nigeria: music, film, software, and so on and so forth. However, the right holders don't know their rights. And if you don't know your rights, you will be cheated. There are one or two titles on the market, but written for lawyers. This will be the first book that is written for everybody. It's the first time somebody tried to capture the events that led to the passage of the Copyright Act in Nigeria. One of the things I like most about the book, but which on the lighter side I can say I don't like, is that I wish I wrote the book. Intellectual property goes beyond copyright. It touches also on trademarks, the marks that are applied, logos, and so on. It goes to patents, inventions, designs. It goes even now to traditional.
I see him more like a godfather, a big brother in the industry that I can go to, I can talk to about anything that has to do with entertainment. I'm a writer by profession. I majored in playwriting, I write movies, and I don't even know the extent to which my work it can be protected. But with something like this, I'm sure it's going to throw a whole lot of light on the copyright of a writer, even that of an artist generally. There's something that I do remember. Last year in Imo State, when we went to Enigma, because of the things I've seen happen in events where you take them outside Lagos, you have to carry artists, you have to transport them, put them in a hotel, host each and every one personally, otherwise artists are very emotional people, they begin to. So amidst all that, he was able to treat everybody individually. Like I said, I have this and this about myself that is really stressing me, and maybe that's what I'm letting out to you that could have made me stress you in any way. And he said, do you believe in God? I said, yes. He said, if you believe in God, then just go on your knees and pray. I am a living testimony. And that was all he said to me, and that I held very strongly. I feel honored.
I believe that I first of all encountered Tony in the Anno Disc office around Ojuelegba, Itirero to be precise, when he was working as the in-house producer for Anno Disc. And subsequently when he became president of PMAN, I believe in 1989, I approached him in 1990 because there was a group that I was representing called the Glad Tidings. They were a gospel singing group, and I asked that he include them in the Nigerian Music Awards of 1990, and he graciously accepted to do so. It's a book whose time has come, and it's a book that will herald in an even more prosperous future for anybody who has any creative tendencies. A book on intellectual property, let's face it, the most important and valuable resource in the world today is information and knowledge. I have read portions of the book because for the most part it's a rather technical book, but he has written it in such a way that it would carry along people like me who are not so learned. And I like the use of practical examples to make a technical point. For him to give me the added honor of acknowledging me, I am flabberwhelmed and overgasted, if you don't mind my French. It has the potential because it is latent, but it is incumbent on members of the creative community to read it, assimilate it, and act on it.
Professor Egerton Uviagara was Tony Okoroji's lecturer at the University of Lagos. The both served in a committee that drafted the copyright law. While Prof was the chairman of the NCC, Chief Tony Okoroji served on the board. Prof wrote the foreword to the book, Copyright, Neighboring Rights, and the New Millionaires.
I knew him as president of PMAN, and he was pressing government to review the law. I knew all about that. I was then head of department in Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, and I was also interested in copyright, so somehow we joined forces. There's need for us to know because it generates a lot of revenue for government. It protects the investment of investors in publishing, for example, in sound recording, for example, and so on and so forth. In filmmaking, even government stands to benefit because people pay taxes, people are employed. I read the book in, what stage was it? Galley proof stage, I think. Yeah, Tony brought it here and asked me very graciously to write, I think it was a foreword. I don't know if I should put this in this, but it's one Nigerian which will have got better reward than he has got for all the effort and intelligence. He's a very intelligent fellow. So when I read the book, I said to Tony, most lawyers, the great majority of lawyers cannot do better than he has done. Writing about this, copyright is a creation of statute of law. And a non-lawyer writing that type of book, to me, is highly commendable.
Would I say Chief Okoroji is my second husband? I mean, if you know the history of Patrick Doyle and Tony Okoroji, you know that they have a very intimate relationship, and by extension, I've been included in that. So yes, I do know him pretty well. I've had the privilege of working alongside him on several major projects. Without a doubt, a book on intellectual property and copyright is very necessary and timely. When you think about it, intellectual property should be one of the most valuable things an individual can own or should own, and it should, last from generation to generation, because a great work of art is a great work of art, period. Very few people begin to even understand the concept of royalty. You have films and productions and books and songs that are still earning millions for generations after the original artist has passed on. It's just another honor from someone I consider to be a very great man. So I'm humbled.
Chinedu Chukwuji is the head of operations at PMRS, the Copyright Collecting Society.
He's my friend, my brother, and he's also my boss, and we've had a very good and tight relationship, spanning up to 10 years right now. A book on intellectual property, in our own setting, is even long overdue. Taking into cognizance the fact that wealth is fast changing, information is growing, entertainment is growing. It then means that the need for a book or a literature, a text in this area of our profession is highly needed. I have read the book cover to cover, and the book is the bomb. The book talked about the evolution of copyright in Nigeria. That's a very, very, very interesting part, how copyright started, the key players, those that were involved at the foundation stage, the initial stage, and it's an interesting thing.
Tony Okoroji is my teddy bear, I believe. But his wife keeps him at night, so I can't have him all day. You know, I just get to see him maybe once in a year. I get to rub his tummy once in a while. That's it. That's it. I'm not been able to make money out of that man. That's boring. The fact that he has a desire to see the show go on. The fact that he's passionate. Right now, I think the passion has gotten the better of him. I am planning to gag him. Tie him up. Somebody of Chinedu's size times 4 will pick up the chair and they will take him to any board meeting. And so, when they're saying anything with his mouth gagged, everything, all he needs to do is yes or no. I love his person. That is the persona. That is one secret he doesn't know. I have never told him that. He's always wanted to do big, mighty things. You know, there's something about Tony. The 1990, awards, Nigerian Music Awards, was the best to ever come into Nigeria. It was the only. It was a loud in Nigeria, not loud in Lagos, loud in Nigeria. It was awesome. And for me, just watching him walk, that was all. Right now, I want to gag him. I'm begging all of you, let us gag him. Gang up against him, gag him. Let him just keep quiet. We do the show and then we do the business. And so we're not telling this is the proceeds. And then yes. Obviously, I know exactly what I'm saying. If you don't understand exactly what I'm saying, we will explain it when both of us are sitting down.
Like a mentor and a protege kind of relationship. From the very, very first time I met him, very, very informal atmosphere. Very warm, nice, strict part of him I discovered when I started working with him. But relationship-wise, Chief is he's a nice guy. If I would summarize Chief Tony Okoroji, he believes that there is time for everything. Some people do not even know what the word is. You will be shocked at some huge names that have no idea of what the word intellectual property means. I think it's about time that a literature like this comes into the Nigerian environment, because a lot of the time, one or two artists will say, well, what applies in America might not apply here, but you might be shocked to discover that entertainment law, intellectual property law is the same. It's not been enforced in Nigeria, and this book is going to be like a savior to all those who are not aware of what intellectual property can do for them or what it means to them as an entertainer. Okay. I've had the singular opportunity to see some of the contents, just the introduction of the intellectual property part, and I was even more amazed to find out that my name was mentioned, small me, because I think I have a couple of his traits. He can drive you to the point. He can drive you and almost drive you crazy just to get out the best out of you.
I think he's a gentleman in music, let me say generally, a gentleman in entertainment. I grew up reading about him on the pages of newspapers, and he always struck me as someone who had his onions together. He's a gentleman who is passionate about what he does. What's my relationship with him is the relationship of respect, of a junior to a senior that you respect so much. And I think he's one of those people I'm lucky to have met in the industry, and I would point at any day to say is a role model. Okay. I think it's something he's very passionate about. So for him to have written a book on it is not surprising. I'd like anyway to say congratulations, but to ask if it's necessary in Nigeria is like if water is necessary to a fish.
On this journey, I met with so many interesting people. I ate, I drank, I generally had a blast. Now, this next person needs no introduction.
I call him my adopted father because he's been like that to me for so many years. He's always been someone that I love and respect, not just because he's Tony Okoroji, but because of the fact that I learned so much from him. I don't think in this country I have met a man that is as detailed as him. When he plans his events, when he plans his whatever it is he wants to do, he's so detailed that it shocks me. He has a way of bringing people together and managing people, managing stress and pressure. I've worked with him on different events and occasions, and he always has this way of making everybody feel it's okay. It took just a few meetings with him and listening to him when he talks about politics, the economy, the rights of the people, the artists, and how they should be taken care of. It just took a few meetings with him to understand this man's mind, although I'm not done understanding it. But yes, it is necessary in our environment because there are so many things that we take for granted in this country. And we tend to put the blame on a lot of other people apart from ourselves. But you see, we don't protect ourselves. For him to even think about writing a book, I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm so glad that he's finally done it because I know he's been talking about it for a while. And he says it hurts him when people are supposed to be paid well. I mean, look at our counterparts in the US and in Europe and Asia. Look at India. Everybody is going to another level, but we're still here. But we have become so desperate that sometimes we forget the important things. And this book, for me, is a fantastic idea. When people write and put our names to it, a lot of people don't attribute it to anything that's intelligent. It's always gossip or, oh, home video or something. But for somebody to actually put me in something that will be read in different parts of the world, in schools and all that, I am so honored, very honored.
But the little time I had with him was, I think I spoke to him at the airport, and an event he did they were honoring artists and that made an impact in Nigeria. I would say he's a very simple person, understanding and straightforward. Classifies everybody as the same person, no matter how big or young or old you are. I mean, his simplicity is what I really actually knew about him. That's when I started realizing that he's that kind of person. And then, I mean, it's somebody that, you know, that obviously that has feelings for other people outside too. Most of the artists may not be able to read those books, you know, but at least we have people that could teach on that. And besides the book, people that can teach on that and let us realize what it takes to recognize the fact that we are representing our country in the country in the best way we can, and then somebody now taking the rights that we have and then using it anyhow and making money from it, and we're just there chilling. It's a wonderful thing. If it's implemented, I bet you, and I tell you the truth, it's going to work out, and it'll help a lot of us. We'll be making money more than expected. So that book is for everybody. I won't specify one person because it's going to help. It has all categories, not just the artistic aspect. Like you talked about the Nollywood people and all that people outside there. It will help us a whole lot, and then we'll know what is our rights and what is not our rights, and then protect it properly. So we need it. Everybody needs it. You know, like I said, I haven't really known him that much. You know, the little I knew about him, I said he's a very simple person. I spoke to him, and he was actually like a father to me.
Onyeka Owenu, the elegant stallion, has worked with Chief Okoroji on several projects for over 25 years. They both belong to that generation of Nigerian artists who helped change the way the artists are perceived. While Chief Okoroji was P-Man president, Onyeka was his vice, and they both serve on the board of PMRS, a copyright collecting society.
He's someone who is very staunch, and when he believes in something, he gives it more than 100%. I don't really believe that Nigeria has given him his due. Not at all. I believe that he should be given a national honor of the highest order. I believe that he cares a great deal about Nigeria, has sacrificed for Nigeria, has been a waypointer for Nigeria in the music industry, and certainly in the area of copyright. He is on the front line and has made one of the biggest contributions any individual could make to the copyright regime in Nigeria. We have taken him for granted. I believe he has sacrificed his life for the music industry in Nigeria. We have not given him his dues. And I think this is the book that this country needs at this time to understand copyright issues and to understand the real issues and to recognize the real people who have fought for it, who keep fighting for it, who have sacrificed for it. Tony Okoroji is one of them. I think when people read it, they would realize that this later day interlopers, people who claim to have the best interest of the industry at heart, are nothing but interlopers. They don't care about the business. They have nothing at stake with the business. When people like Tony Okoroji would spend sleepless nights, sacrifice their families, and go and write the laws, copyright laws, that have been recognized to be one of the best in the world, that says a lot. And yet till today, not much has happened. There are certain things that made me laugh. The anecdotes, I believe. I know the basic issues of copyright, and some of them I have even forgotten. So this is like a handbook for anyone to have if you really want to understand what copyright issues are all about. You see, Tony is a stickler for details, and he really has a superb legal mind. I still think he ought to be a lawyer. He has done us a service, and we really should be thanking him, because nobody could have put together such a book. Nobody has had the experience that Tony Okoroji has had in this particular area. This is not funny. It's not funny, but it's spiritually intimate. We've had experiences where, you know, we've had to go the extra mile. We've had to go the extra mile, and hope was lost. And we were able to get down on our knees and pray.
I think that he's a very determined individual. That is what I can say. Oh, I determined God. He's a very strong man with a strong mind. That's all. Intellectual property right now is the way forward. You know, yes, it is. It has always been. The world over, people that have ideas have always been the ones to make the most of it, make the most of the money long term in an environment that is structured, that can protect their intellectual property. So if you have a case where people constantly infringe on rights and practically don't regard rights, then we have an issue, you know, because that's where the money is. I think that knowledge should start from even the primary schools. The little ones are creative too, and you should encourage them to understand that their little creative writings are their property. They can protect it, and they can keep it in custody of their parents. You know, from there, everybody starts to understand that whatever I create with my hand, my head, my thought, is money and can be potentially, you know, be big business. And I think that the book offers that insight into what copyright is and how you go about protecting yourself and making it readily available for everybody's use for. You know, I'll say that he's thoughtful in his research and the delivery from the book, which helps you to see step by step, you know, what intellectual property is about, how you can use it, how you can protect yourself, because he's speaking from, you know, the point of being an intellectual property owner himself, and also he's speaking as the common man that would like to see his thoughts, you know, and his creation basically make him happy by making him some money.
Well, I would say I know about Tony Okoroji from back in the days when maybe he came back from Babylon and Babylon country and become a producer and produce a couple of artists, working with EMI, and well, he did a couple of tunes and produced a couple of artists. A lot of us voted for him to become Piman president, and which he did, and did well. Definitely a book is necessary, but I don't know what he has written. I don't know the contents and of the book. So I'm not going to elaborate or go much about the book until I read the book. Well, great, man, and I give thanks to the Most High Jehovah that I'm still there alive to see what's going on with the industry.
Well, Chief Tony Okoroji for me is like, you know, my godfather. He's like a father, a big brother, and a mentor in this industry. I've also known him as a president of, an ex-president of P-Man. He's been so much of an influence and, you know, a support to the music industry. It is absolutely necessary because right now, a lot of us, you know, those who are not conscious of, you know, the rights to protect their jobs, how they can defend, you know, their creativity. In times like this, you know, that we have an upsurge in the showbiz industry, be it in Nollywood, be it in the music industry, in the fashion industry, on limits, you know, be an architect or whatever. So a lot of us are becoming more conscious, and of course we need books, you know, like these to open up our knowledge. He's a never say die person. You know, he's an optimist. He goes for whatever he believes in and he gets it, even if it takes him time and years, and is very, very calm, cool and calculated.
He can be very stubborn, he can be very dogged, and I think that's the quality I like. I like him because he knows what he wants and he pursues it. And no matter how long, no matter the obstacles that he meets in the process of pursuing this thing, he keeps going on. A book like this, I think, is very necessary, that will open up avenues to Nigerians, showing Nigerians that, look, with your idea, you can actually make some serious money, and show you how to evolve from just an idea to cash in your hands or cash in the bank. I think the book is very necessary, yes. He doesn't give up. That's what I'll recommend for every young Nigerian out there that is looking for something to do. If you have an idea and you believe in it, please don't give up. It might take a long time, but if you believe in yourself and you know that what you're doing has value, stick to it. That's what Chief Tony Okoroji has that I really like. He is a dogged man.
I personally followed the whole copyright issues, you know, for a while, and my first impression was Chief Tony Okoroji, one of them old school guys who got us here. But after, you know, our interactions and all of that, I had a considerably different view of the man. First encounter with the material, you know that this has taken a lot of time. You feel the degree of work that has gone into putting it together. It's pretty well put together. Copyright as an entity is often better appreciated from a legal perspective, you know, because there's only so much without you know good grounding in law. There's only so much you can really understand about the dynamics of how it works and all of that. Appreciation of intellectual property, as far as I'm concerned, is fundamental to everything. The truth is, a lot of people do not know. We have a culture of ignorance as far as copyright is concerned. So as many people as we can educate, the more people we can educate, the better for all of us. One thing you cannot take away from him, if you listen to him, is the fact that he is very, very intelligent. He is very articulate. I don't know, maybe he should consider teaching or something. And I think he has the ability to, I think it will make one hell of a lecturer. The book is very necessary, it's very important. The book can do a lot, but the attitude of the people would have to change. If efforts like this will yield any fruits, people must change their attitudes towards you know, learning, towards studying, towards research. There's still a couple of us younger people who need to see this happen. There are a whole lot of us who would draw inspiration, who would draw strength, we would draw some measure of, we would get some guidance, we would get, more importantly, we would have a reference point.
to everyone. To everyone. Every music business practitioner.
Everybody who has an idea, playing in his head, needs to know how far this idea can take him.
I think the book is for everybody.
Everybody and anybody, radio station operators, television operators, NBC, censors board, because you find that a lot of these laws are misinterpreted.
Students of law, mass communication, and so on and so forth.
Everybody who's involved in any creative endeavor.
So it's for everyone that is interested in entertainment, not just entertainers.
First, to right holders, that is creators, composers, publishers, actors, even to lawyers.
I recommend it to everyone because of the changing nature of wealth.
I think everybody should pick a copy.
If you're a stakeholder or if you have something to do that is associated with creativity.
First of all the artists, actor, musician, director, makeup artist, management, people that run management companies, police, judges, government, governor plus their wives and their aides. In fact, local government chairman, you understand me? Oba, if any ruler cannot read, his aide should read it to him. They need to understand it. It is for everybody.
Do I dislike him? I love to hate him. I don't know how to love to hate him.
His stubbornness. It is at the same time an admirable quality and a very, very, very annoying trait. But that's the paradox that is Tony Okoroji.
I've not really seen anything I should dislike, that's the truth.
He never sleeps. He keeps pushing you, push you until he gets what he wants. But, it's negative, but it's also positive.
Chief Tony, they worry. If you want something, he's not going to let you go till he gets it. He's very tenacious.
Tony is a likable person. I mean, he's a likable person. Well, maybe he can be stubborn in sticking to his point, you know. But invariably, he's correct.
It's not a dislike really, but it could be a challenge sometimes, you know. He's a perfectionist, and sometimes it gets to my nerves, you know. He does not take no for an answer, and sometimes it drives you crazy just to achieve his goals.
Hey, he's too perfect. That's what I don't like. He's just too perfect. He's too on time.
Chineke. He can push you to the brink. If you're not able to work as hard as he is working at a particular time, he fights with you on a personal basis. He's like, hey, come on. And I'm going, look, you know, I have a family.
I think his stubbornness, his doggedness is, look, I'm not going to give up spirit.
The man doesn't rest. Yeah. And he pushes you on and on, he nudges you to go. I don't want to use the word slave driver, but he's astute. He's a great administrator. He's a great listener because he'll take time to listen to you.
He's very intelligent. Sometimes embarrassingly so.
The drive is, I don't know how to say it.
Cool, calm, is calm. That's what I like the most about it.
He's somebody who knows what he wants. He's focused and he tells you, this is how I want it. And he likes to do the impossible.
He speaks with an understanding which can embarrass the average lawyer because he knows so much. Sometimes he never gives up.
Regardless of what the situation is, the job must be done.
He is dogged, he is very determined, and he's a focused individual.
Never gets to say no. You can wake him up at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., you know, to seek for his advice or opinion or an assistance, you know. He's ready to give it to you.
Regardless of what happens, the dream
must not die. It must go on. That's what I like the most about him.
He's a dogged fighter. When you're with him and you're fighting about an issue, you don't have to watch your back. You know that what he says is what he's going to do.
Somebody that stands by his word and fights for what is right, regardless of what people have to say about it. That man can take on the whole country, and he has done it before, and guess what? He won.
If he was here right now, what would I say to him? Kudos, well done.
I'd say congratulations. Don't give up the fight.
Oh, like I've always said to him, he is the best.
I just do. It's another one.
Chief, keep doing what you're doing. Keep believing in yourself. You are an inspiration to our generation.
Thanks a lot for recognizing me, honoring me by putting me in your books, and always remember that I love you.
Knowing your work ethics, knowing your perception about life, and getting close to you has really taught me a lot of lessons, positive lessons.
Damn! I would have written that book if you hadn't written it. Bad guy.
Well, I would say, boy, you wrote a book, niceness.
You've been like a father to me, and you are a fighter. Truly, if it was up to me, you would be the president of this country because you have what it takes. You're intelligent, you're wonderful, and you are all that and more. Lots of love to you.
Tony, you are stubborn, I hate you, but I love you.
No accolade that anyone can give you in this country will be sufficient to recognize the sacrifices you have made, to recognize the contributions you have brought into this business. Hang in there, it will come. It will come. Some of us will continue to speak up and shout it out until it comes, and more. Not just giving you the accolades, but the financial reward for what you have put in. Your country has benefited. Your country is blessed because you are in it. And I believe that generations to come will rise up and bless you. Thank you, my brother. I am proud of you, proud to know you, proud to be associated with you. We'll still fight with you when we disagree, but you know that I love you and I'm very proud of you.
Hey, I'm sorry, you might have noticed that my eyes are all dry and soggy and really heavy with sleep. Remember I told you I was in the journey? But this tale will not be complete if I don't speak with the big man himself. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chief Tony Okoroji.
My dedication to the development of the Nigerian creative community is total, complete, 100%. In the last 25 years, I've been prepared to do whatever I've considered necessary to ensure the protection of the rights of creative people in our nation and to help improve the atmosphere for creativity to thrive. My passion is not just driven by the fact that I'm part of the creative community. For a while, it has become clear to anyone who cares to look that our nation has stopped respecting intelligence, creativity, and innovativeness. Sadly, rather than celebrate the creative and innovative, we have promoted the parasites of the system. I am not aware of any nation that has made any significant progress without giving Class A attention to its brains and the creative genius of its people. We may have thought that with oil, Nigeria will be okay forever. That, my friends, is delusion. As we have just seen recently, the strategic importance of oil will fade, or the oil wells will run dry. But our ability to think will never run dry. Our ability to write will never run dry. Our ability to create great music will never run dry. our acting and movie-making talents will never run dry. Our innovative spirit in the creation of products and services will never run dry. That is why in the last 25 years, I have lived intellectual property. In the process, I've met some friends whose friendship I value tremendously. But I know that I've also irritated a lot of people. Many of them suspicious of the passion and may not understand that what we do now may determine who we are tomorrow. It has taken me 9 years to write this book. 9 years for which I thank the Almighty for seeing me through incredible challenges. At some point, I had 10 cases in different courts in Nigeria, all related to my work on intellectual property. I'm still paying my lawyers, and this is for an assignment for which I receive no real income. I have written this book because I believe that we have urgent national need to refocus. In a world in which the nature of wealth is being redefined more and more, many Nigerians need to understand and internalize the issues. Until now, copyright has been regarded as a mysterious subject that only special lawyers can understand. Consciously, I've written copyright, neighboring rights, and the new millionaires in very simple conversational language. I've employed familiar themes and illustrations to make the subject understandable to anyone who can read and write. My hope is that our lawyers and judges will find the book to be a useful tool in their practice, and that practitioners in the music industry, theater, movies, literature, broadcasting, publishing, the media, advertising and marketing and similar professions will make the book an important reference material and an everyday working tool. For me, the greatest challenge is with our younger generation, who must be made ready to be an effective part of the imagined world. I therefore hope that our universities and similar institutions will put this book into good use as they nurture a new generation of Nigerians. And I really would be glad to receive the generous support of all those who have come to the launching, so that we can have the resources to continue our work. It is equally important to me that people do read the book and encourage others to do so. I therefore hope that everyone who attends the launch will try to buy a copy, and if he or she can afford it, to buy another copy for a friend or a relation. I want to thank everyone who has made this book possible and all those taking out their time to attend the launch. I hope that with the launch, we can spark a major national discussion on intellectual property. I particularly want to thank NORCODE, the Norwegian Copyright Development Association. I know practically every corporate or brand manager of the major companies in Nigeria. For years, I begged nearly all of them for the resources to make this project possible. None was convinced to commit a penny to it. Is it not then ironic that it was a Norwegian organization that saw the importance of this book?
The man is known and called Tony Okoroji. Very few people know his first real name is Alex, a name he gave to his daughter, who is gradually becoming a star in her own right as an actress. Now here, Alex Okoroji, the daughter, talks about Alex Okoroji, the father.
I know I'm supposed to say something really smart about the book, because I have read it and I like it. But I would like to talk about my father, the author, because the book is a creation of the man himself. Growing up, there were a lot of things that I did not understand about my father. I couldn't understand why he was always away from home. And when he was home, he was always working all through the night. Even though we'd shared a lot of very intimate, special moments together as a family, and we've had loads and loads of fun, I still couldn't understand why we couldn't take a vacation like every normal family. And I must confess that most times I was frustrated and very angry at him. But now that I've grown older and finding myself in the creative industry as a writer, a TV presenter, an upcoming actress, I have come to appreciate the life that my father has lived, the values that he has preached, and the immense work that he has done. And now I also understand why he hasn't worshipped big houses, huge cars, and all the vanity that a lot of people place high values on. Because he is the simplest of men. You can call him stubborn, you can call him intelligent, you can say he's a fighter for a good cause. Sometimes he's annoying, he can be funny, but I know that he's a very selfless person and an honest man. And it gladdens me that I can also see some of these qualities in myself. Some people have asked, what is it about this man, that puts a mark of distinction on everything that he does? And I think the answer is very simple. When everyone else is sleeping, Tony Okoroji is working. And when everyone else is harassed, the man is very calm. There's something that happened a while back that I remember. Some people who were supposed to be my father's friends had dragged him to EFCC and accused him of making away with millions and millions of naira that belonged to an association that he had struggled and fought for. And when we heard that, me, my mom, and my siblings, we laughed. And we said, these people don't know who Tony Okoroji really is. Do they think that he shares the same value as they do? And we said EFCC could go home, abroad, heaven and earth, search everywhere, and they will not find a kobo in his name that he hasn't struggled and he cannot defend. And for 1 year, my father reported every day, almost every day, at EFCC. And they searched and searched and searched. And they found a man struggling to pay his bills. They found a man struggling to pay his bills. And of course, they apologized to him. But every time I think about that moment, it hurts. And it saddens me because this is a man who has given his entire life for the entire creative industry so that people's rights are not abused and they can receive their due privileges. And that was his payback. I know that I owe him an apology, and I want to use this medium to apologize on behalf of a lot of people. I want to say, Daddy, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry for everything that you've been through, all the things that you've sacrificed on our behalf and the behalf of a lot of other people. I'm sorry for all the pain and the hurt that you felt. And even though there are some ignorant people who may not know your worth and may not know your work, but there are many and many and many more people who will continue to love, appreciate, and respect you. And even if you leave this world today, God forbid, and you don't leave millions of naira, I will forever be honored that I was born to a man as great as you. Because I know that you will leave behind a legacy that I will continue to be inspired, my siblings, my children, my children's children, and children of generations of other people. And we will never forget what you have done for us. So for all of you who've found time and missed your busy schedules to come to this event on a working day in Lagos, you've not only honored my father, you've honored myself, my mom, my siblings, but you've also honored creativity, integrity, and discipline. You're welcome to the red carpet launch. You're welcome to my father's book launch.